Okay, welcome everyone. We're all being recorded, just to remind everybody. I would, first order of business, ask for a motion to approve the June 27th, so long ago
I'll
minutes.
make that motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Look fine to me.
All right to me. All right, so that's good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next thing is the rebate request for Scaraglino. I looked it over, and it seems like they're shorting themselves. If they put in a pressurized shallow drain field, it seems like the amount is $16,000 that I'm looking at. Just
12 and 4.
But pressurized drain field, aren't we giving 5?
I wish I had it in hand, but I think it's 4.
I thought it was 4 for the well.
We're thinking of well.
I think 5 for the drain field.
5 for the pressurized.
Excuse me?
5.
5.
It's fine, okay.
Okay.
So, really, it should be $17,000.
So should we send it back to them, or maybe they didn't? It's possible they were confusing well with.
No, well, they don't have the well. They did put a pressurized shallow drain
They
field.
don't need a well.
They did, they're building this thing down there, this bizarro garage thing. I confirmed that it is a garage. So the plan that they had to do other stuff, they chose not to do.
Yeah.
According to the people that are sort of working there.
Yeah,
So that the only thing that's going on is the garage.
but if this could simply be like a clerical error where they're entitled to 5 is what we have to give 5.
Well,
But we could just.
I don't know that they put it in their initial application. Do you recall?
I don't remember. Unfortunately, I came right from work, so I couldn't bring my laptop, but
Well, it's in
I'm looking for the town's board resolution back on January 22nd. See how it was worded. Worded 16,000. I think we've since January started to change our resolution so that it's perfectly clear what they're getting approved for.
I think we just maybe put in that if they had to move their well.
we've been doing that for pretty much every application.
Right,
Just in
but
case.
I don't know. I'm trying to find the actual,
I could have sworn that they were not people, they did not need a well.
well, they don't have any bills for a well.
Yeah, he's looking.
Pretty bad agreement, pretty bad agreement. They didn't, they said no well, but they did put in a drain field, and they got 15,000 from the county. So they should be entitled to another $1,000.
So we'll have to amend the town board resolution then. Because we only approved them for 16,000. Which we can do.
Okay, I mean, I think it makes, if that's what we said we're gonna do, we should probably do it.
It's also something that we've been trying to encourage people to do, so I want to give it to them.
If they maybe they'll talk about, oh, and they gave us
Actually,
another
maybe I'll give them
$1,000.
that.
That's the happy committee. So that's the only thing I saw, and I just
Yeah,
followed up on the construction I saw going on there.
okay, yeah.
So otherwise, I think it's fine. So maybe a
So
motion
we should
to
make a motion
make-
to amend the current
that they
resolution.
amend the resolution and that
16,000
we,
to-
we recommend that they be paid $17,000.
That sounds like a good motion.
Is that
I'll second it.
a motion enough for you?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. The next thing is Mizhnikoff, 40 Peconic Avenue. That's you, Greg?
Yes, that's me. They're right on the Crab Creek. We're not ready to present it right now. It turned out that they had a couple of expired building permits that hadn't been closed out. And that I explained that we need to have that information completed. Everything else in the thing looks fine. The system is fully designed, the blueprint exists, and they're here a reasonable amount of time. That, you know, I did not calculate I don't have the calculation with me of the nitrate reduction, but it's a pretty decent 330 day a year.
Right, well, that's gonna,
Plus the other people in the summer, other guests. So, again, anticipating that this is going to be something that our next meeting will be able to authorize.
they have a lot of days annually.
Say that again?
So the days annually, they have a lot, if they had their guests in and them. And that hidden path is very sensitive. It's that dirt road, you know, it goes
Yeah,
down
there's
there.
only a few houses on there.
Yeah, it's a,
I mean, super important for the health of the creek.
I would think so.
And there's actually another landowner that's putting in the IA too, on that stretch on that
Right.
peninsula, so it's.
Well, I think at the end, they're gonna do something to
Yeah.
Lucian's. So,
So once we're completed on having the building
Yeah,
departments,
that's fine.
we'll be able to move forward.
okay. Now, are we ready for a full-length feature film, or you gonna report on it?
Well, okay, so yes, I'll give you like just a little
Outreach
report, and
initiatives.
I wish it was a full-length film, but it's only like 40 seconds or 45 seconds, but, I went back to, Tim, who was Kate Smith Ross's
Right.
husband, and as you know, they were, I believe they
One
were
of the first.
one of the first applicants to do it, and, Tim he's very happy to do this video. He gave us permission to just go ahead and use it if we like it. And we kept it really real, like he just got off work. So it wasn't like, you know, he was in a tie and suit, it wasn't polished at all.
Right.
And actually, that's how we wanted to make it just like off the street, like someone talking about their experience. So Jessica, do you want to hit that and we can watch it?
Hi, I'm Tim Sheen, and I just wanted to share some of my experiences with getting one of the new AI septic systems. Turns out, when it first became available, grants to the town and the county, we didn't even know that we had a failing septic system until we signed up and started the process. And once we got into it, it turns out that our septic system was failing, and we didn't even know about it. Once we replaced it, you know, the county didn't come in and do the testing. It does work. We received money from the county and the town, so the money is real, and it's a great way to improve your property value and improve the water quality on the island.
It had captions on it. Your captions didn't come through for you? It's got little captions. It says like his name and WQIAB. Okay. But I put like little titles on the thing.
That's good, you know, I mean, you got AI and IA this stuff. but
Yeah, I
that's
did
all right.
that. But anyway, so that gives you gentlemen an idea. That's what I'm talking about. These little clips.
I mean,
of,
I think that is a great, I'd put it on the website now.
he says we have full permission. If you need to sign anything, he says happy to sign anything you want. And
You know, I mean, anything like that, you know, and if at the Green Expo, we got another one or two, maybe we
Yeah.
could like, I don't
It's
know how
hard
the
to-
power thing.
yeah, it's hard to have it running at
Power thing might be a problem.
But we could do
But maybe on a-
testimonials,
on a-
like little short testimonials on paper, like
Yeah.
cards, you could, but that's actually, my next thing was, everybody was supposed to start sending me
I know.
stuff for the brochure, but, so, just a gentle reminder to somebody on the committee, if you want to get back to me about,
Give me,
for the brochure.
remind me fully.
yeah, so at the last meeting,
Actually, I
it
think
was
I
actually
wrote
in the
it down.
minutes, that I had asked you all to sort of, email me, content, really important content that you wanted for a possible IA brochure. So I actually think we should have our own, and I sent you guys an example from the Silver Beach Association.
Mhm, that was good.
With, just to give you an idea of what could be done, and you can even have it double-sided. And I did want to report back on that brochure that we used at the Silver Beach Association. This year, for the first time, we got back 6. So on the back of our pamphlet, we actually had a perforated little thing where you could cut out and like fill out and join, and we had 6 come back. So we've
The
got.
people hadn't joined.
The people, well, in some cases, they were new people that hadn't joined. In some cases, they were existing members, but they actually used the brochure. They filled it out, right? And they cut it, and they stuck that in an envelope. So I was really impressed that our little idea worked. So that's another idea to have, and have the QR code and something for anyone who's a little bit not so technologically inclined, they want to cut it off and fill it out, they can do that.
The scissor icon.
Yeah, it has a scissor icon on it, yeah. So those are just 2 things. I think we should go with some kind of brochure, because then we could give it out. At the Green Expo, we could do little testimonials, like short, really just on little cards or something people can read about, like Tim's quote or something like that. People can't play it at the expo. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the cards could work, sure. I mean, that is like the 3rd weekend in
Yeah,
this month.
yeah, we may, I mean, it
You're
could be
not-
something
did
as
you say you
simple as
weren't
just
gonna be
the
around, or-
print. 3rd weekend in August?
Yeah.
No, I'm here.
Okay, somebody was gonna be.
But anyway, this is the idea, is now we can see what it's like, and if you give me permission, I'd like to move on to the next victim.
I would-
And
we
make
have
another
full-
video.
Full largesse to
Okay.
go ahead and,
Okay. All right,
you
good.
know,
Got a less wind,
I
though.
have to
Yeah,
get
it
you a
was really-
beret
It
though,
was really windy.
in a director's chair.
Right.
But yeah, that's great, and I think we are remiss in not getting you the thoughts that, you had asked
We
for.
have, it's summer, mode, so a lot going on in the summer.
Any other thoughts regarding that? I mean, I think the town board would like to see us do as much as we can to outreach, I think. So,
Well, when I did talk to Tim, he said he's sure, this is not my video, but he said, he's sure it's gotten, well, he hopes it's gotten easier, but he said, when they first did the application process, part of it was just the Department of Health, like just.
well, the health department was very, they were not super well oiled.
But he said it's.
None of us
it's the
were,
weight.
really.
He said really it's the weight, that, some people may object to the weight, and he said that he doesn't really see a solution to yet, because you do have to wait, it's a process, and it's long. But he said as far as like tearing up your lawn or things like that, he said, no, it was very, smooth. The contractor fixed all that, and it was like just back to normal. It was great. That was not the biggest disruption. It was more about just waiting, and then the health department is the bigger wait.
Well, if it's any comfort to him, my weight still goes on.
That's right.
So, whatever, I'm not complaining. So sort of tying into the outreach, I did go to the Creek Keepers
Mhm.
meeting that as you recall, we've given them a bit of money to do, get another monitoring station and all that, And there was people there, Peter Grand was there, and, so, he talked a lot, but there was a lot of question, and answer type stuff that went on. I thought it was pretty good, actually. I mean, we got questioned, or I did a bit, the word slush fund came up, and I said, maybe some people use the word slush fund, but I don't see this this money at all being used in that manner. I see it only for water-related issues that are bona fide improvements to, for the island. So, I tried to say, when you put water and ice together, you get slush, that's true, but it is all about water, so they were okay with that. And I said, that they wanted how much, was in the fund, and I told them Meg was there, she actually, I said about 2.5, and, I said, this is all public knowledge. I mean, there's complete transparency. You're welcome to come to our meetings. We encourage you. And I said, I tried to describe our function as, trying to facilitate people's ideas, as it relates to projects that can improve water. And I said, like, if you have ideas that you need to, that you think would be beneficial, we're always open to have you come to the meeting. And so please pass it on, and because that's the way things are going to get done. I mean, especially, if you're in your own neighborhood, like Silver Beach, you've been proactive, you got, the brochure out. It's a great thing, if people start to, take, I know the Mananac Peninsula group is having their meeting on the 10th, I believe, of August.
I saw that sign,
So, I mean, there's some overlapping things, but as it should be, the whole thing, everything overlaps, everything on Shelter Island. There's no, oh, that's my water over here. It's our water everywhere. And if we, and getting that concept across, that if we don't manage it well, we're not going to be in good shape at all. In any, you talk about property values, you won't have any if the water goes bad and it becomes a giant problem, either from the ground, or around us.
That's why I liked in Tim's quote, he said, this is gonna improve the
Right.
property value.
Right.
So I
I
like
mean, that's a
that.
good thing,
Yeah.
so, I think these, this was good. There's a Fresh Pond, meeting on Sunday, that people are, we've tried to invite people to come if they're interested in hearing about what's going on there. You saw on the cover of the Reporter, there was, coverage of that, the harvesting stuff. And I have to say, I mean, things look pretty good, especially, I don't know if you guys have looked down by the town landing there, on Fresh Pond Road. It was pretty like closed
Yeah, I
in and
remember it.
slimy,
You couldn't even get in.
and now it's just a lot more aesthetically appealing. Well, this, granted, doesn't, do a giant amount to take care of the overall issues facing the pond. Every little bit helps. And, as Peter said, and you go to the dump and you'll be able to get it as fertilizer back. Or maybe yes, maybe no, I don't know. But, no healthy lily pads were hurt in this filming. So, or fauna of any sort that I know of. So it's a good thing. Anyway, do we have financial, anything that has happened? I mean, I don't imagine
No, because
much has
I
happened.
started to, I got numbers from Shelby and realized, we haven't expended any, paid anybody recently, so the last report still stands. And then I realized that there were two, from minutes that didn't make it onto the town board, work session, so I'm gonna make sure that those go on for next week so that they can get approved. That was Roar and Gardner.
Right,
So I'll put
Okay.
those on. But just looking briefly at the numbers to sort of answer your question, we've expended almost $1 million of WQI funds, 60% of which is for highway systems, and then another 233,000, which has been for, smaller projects,
Mhm.
including Fresh Pond, Cornell Cooperative Extension,
Right.
of just, water testing,
The water testing and,
so.
Well-
Apologies, so.
that's good. And that sort of ties, well, we have the old business thing, if I don't know if there's any old business that anybody wants.
Nothing old.
But what we just talked about sort of ties in, and it'd be good to pin it down a little bit. And Greg is, going to talk about this PEP meeting at the end of August, whether we'd like to have the WQI committees from the East End towns get together.
Yes, they were specific to, how are you handling the IAs, septic issues? At least that's the way I read what they've got. I spoke to her, it says, that it's, the meeting is 10 o'clock to noon. So I says, is there somebody else coming here? I mean, I don't know that we're gonna be able
I
to.
think that's just the time slot.
That is the time slot. She said that, that her image of what would happen would be there'd be a 10 or 15-minute segment for each of the WQIs and questions within it. So, it's week and,
I mean, I think, being that it is at their location in Southampton, maybe I would make the effort to maybe go there. I mean, as many people who wanted to go, great, or zoom in, but I mean, I think it'd be better if we had a presence there.
yes.
I have it on my calendar.
Okay.
Say that again?
I have it on my calendar to attend.
Okay. So, at this point, I'm just bringing this.
So I think to the, going back and fleshing out some of the facts to present would be a good thing, so that, and then the other good thing, I think, maybe more so than us telling them, maybe hearing what they're telling us. Maybe it's a different scale. I don't know. It probably is, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's a different scale. 2 million, 100 million? Yeah.
A little different.
What day is this, Greg?
28th of August.
August 28th at 10 a.m.?
That's a
That's
Wednesday.
correct.
Okay.
It's their local government committee meeting, and I don't know how frequently it is. And it's, Betty, so she is reaching out from, that she is the outreach person for the PEP Estuary Partnership. She wanted, if you or a designee would be able to present on Shelter Island's IA system rebate program at the meeting on August 28th. The LGC, which is the Leadership Guidance Council, Government Council, are representatives from the town and village governments within the PE watershed boundary. At our last meeting, there was interest in discussing the county and town septic improvement programs. We would appreciate the opportunity to hear about Shelter Islands. Some points of interest are total installations, grant funding utilized so far within the watershed boundary if possible, wait times or other hurdles in the program being experienced, and the future of the program. That's what they're basically asking for.
Well, I think we should go.
Okay.
I'm interested in going. I just don't know if I want to present, quite frankly.
No, we don't all have to talk, but I mean, I think, if you have something to say, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you'll see, I don't think it's a formal
They
presentation.
may not even give us time to say anything in major announcements.
It sounds a little bit like there was, okay, it sounded more like, yes, you are saying, yes, this is what we're paying, this is how, this is, that.
And I think describing how we've evolved. I mean, it has been an evolution, and, we've done some things wrong and some things we've done better. We try to fix things after we've done them wrong, So I think it's a.
I have all of the numbers sliced and diced except for like the total, like I have the number of installations that we've funded. And we can get from Meg,
Right.
each property knows.
And bearing in mind that perhaps unlike those other towns, this is a completely volunteer thing. I don't know that those other towns are they're WQI money is managed by people who are not paid. Maybe, you know, there might be a component, I don't know, but I'm interested to find out. Megan?
Meg has her hand up.
Hi, guys. I
Hi.
was at the PEP local government meeting when we were talking about this and everyone was expressing an interest in learning more about how the grant program is working. Part of it was that they want to put more pressure on the county to move the grant process forward faster because they feel like it's taking too long for people to get grants. And the big complaint they have is that they have people who are interested, but then they hit this, what feels like a stone wall when they get to the county grant process, and they're wondering how the towns can work together with the county to make the program smoother, and also what the different towns are doing in their specific WQI programs to support the IA system installations, and seeing if there's a best practices that we can kind of develop between all the East End towns that have a WQI program running. So that was kind of part of the interest, was to figure out what everybody's doing and seeing if we can get on the same page to kind of make it a smoother process for everybody. And also to learn from the county what their process and procedure is and what efforts they're putting in to streamline and expedite the process.
You know, plus trying to find the money.
Well, they're hoping that the referendum in November
Right, well,
gives them that
that's-
funding.
That's what everybody's hoping, but I wonder if for some reason that doesn't pass, you know, so I think we should, you know, we sort of touched on it, talking it up a little bit about
Yeah.
outreach. So maybe at these meetings, you know, we can mention that, you know, these neighborhood meetings.
How do we want to proceed on this? You want to?
I think we should, you know, I can reach out to them, or if you've already had a dialogue with them, say that, you know, we have at least 2 people coming, maybe more, maybe 3, plus Amber. You know, and is there a limit, or can we bring as many as want to come?
I'll be at the meeting too.
Okay. So,
So we'll maybe, yeah,
say we'll be there.
we'll be there and, you know, put a,
You know, and maybe they could flesh out what, you know, a little closer what they want, you know, from us, or is it sort of, you know, as we see it, and just, that's,
well, you know, I guess an outline of here's the topics that
Right.
we want to hit and with the information, you know, available.
let's see what we get back from them, and then, you know,
Okay.
we can develop our
You
approach.
want me to continue talking to them?
Yeah,
or
sure.
Meg or whose
Well, I mean, you've already started talking to them,
email came to me, so,
so why not?
okay. I'll get some initial thoughts, send it out to everybody, and, you know, add what's needed, and then we'll flesh it out, what it looks like. Okay,
Well, that's a good thing, I think, you know, and, you know, maybe, you know, and hopefully that referendum thing gets some traction, and, because that's gonna be important. I mean, I think if they had money, maybe things could go smoother.
I just thought of something else actually, as you were saying that, just going back to, well, it's the same
Right.
item on the agenda. So it's too late now, because it just came to my mind now, but at the Silver Beach Association meeting, our annual meeting, the board decided to include in its packet that we gave out to people at the registration table, the free county water test. Well, it's not actually free, it's
Right.
$100.
It's $100.
Yeah. And we included that, and we made an announcement at the meeting that how important it is to have your water tested, and if you need it, and then we were like, here, it's right in the packet,
Nice.
page 3. So we, you know, we could have done that, like, I could have gone to our board and said, hey, the WQI would like to include, you know, this, like, the link to our septic, and here's information about the septic systems in case you aren't
Well,
aware.
I think we should still, you know, I've
So
talked
something
to a
like
couple of HOA people,
Yeah.
you know, that I think it would be great, as we talked about last meeting, to get them in this room, you know, and, you know, try and see if we can get them to help us get to their members. and encourage their members. I mean, that's
Just
a
as easily, I'm saying,
perfect.
just as easy that water
perfect
test
thing,
could have been.
what you just said.
Yeah.
You know, that, I guess the rub on that is if it continues the way it does, where the county says, no, you have to, you can't, you're not shovel ready until we approve, you know, the one stamp and, you know, people are being delayed at that, at the very start of the process. It's like the county says, no, you know, you can't start anything until you're finished with them, basically. That's the way I understand it anyway.
I mean, you need their red stamp for sure.
Yeah, so, but the problem with getting more people right now, working on this and applying is that it's hurry up and wait, you know, congratulations, you've signed up, and it's, you know, maybe by the,
No, I mean, it would be good, you know, that's a great thing to be saying at that meeting.
yeah.
You know, it's not dissimilar from the meeting that we had here with the PEP and talking about the DEC and trying to get the DEC to work. I mean, obviously DC state and the counties, you know, the county, but, you know, there are this bureaucracy things that are sort of a hold up with many, many things.
But it'll be interesting to see, like, if we hear back from residents of Silver Beach, if they went ahead, if they ripped our paper off and sent it in.
Right.
We'll see. I have a
Yeah.
feeling that we'll get feedback. We did ask them to write in anytime they like opted to do it, just to tell the board that they did. I mean, obviously, we don't know what they're gonna find out, but at least we know that they did it. And then actually, I think Doug might have said at the meeting, we encourage it, you know, if you want to share your results,
Right.
feel free to say it.
And he said that there was a good percentage of people who said that they would.
Yeah, that was, yeah. So there is another picnic happening in September.
There's
We
what
can get
happened?
ourselves, there's another picnic happening in September. If
Right.
you want to try to put something together,
Yeah.
talk about septic, and I can run it by the board and see if, maybe, I don't know, that's another, yeah, 2 months or two, like a month and a
Silver
half.
Beach picnic, is that what
Yeah,
you're
the Silver
saying?
Beach, but it usually gets a good turnout, so
If we could get our act together and
little something.
kick out a brochure and,
Or
I mean,
even
it wouldn't be,
how about something simple with just the QR code and like,
Yeah.
WQI septic application, boom, just give it out on the table. Yeah. But to have somebody talk for a few minutes on the mic, I think is more effective.
Yeah, and I don't know, the WAC, I mean, when they moved on the fertilizer brochure, I guess that went through approval from the board. All right, so, you know, that, presumably that would be required in what you're speaking to as well, so these things take time, I know.
But I can tell you, our current board is very sensitive to this topic, they're really on top of it, so I predict they would be open to it.
you're saying the town.
Yeah, and
What's
if we're,
town board?
Formal action was required by the town. It was more just, here's what we're doing, and do you guys have any?
Do you have any problems with it?
Yeah, and it mirrored the legislation we recently passed.
So it's not, that may not be a big holdup.
Exactly, and we can be nimble on that one.
I wasn't sure how, you know, the details on that.
Oh. I think we should, well, I'll speak for myself. I should get moving and try to get some ideas to you. And maybe we could turn something out and, you know, quickly. I mean, we could have like ink spot or something, do it, and, you know.
Yeah, we turned our brochure around in like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it was really quick.
Okay. Any other new business? Anything from the board, anything that we should be aware of? Well, I guess. You've got your
Make
wish.
a motion, he's not here.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Pretending that I'm Tui.
And a second from Julia.
Yeah, second.
Well, thank you for everybody. Betty,
Thanks, Betty.
all's good in Rhode Island, and
Yeah,
We'll see you
thanks a
back.
lot. Sorry I couldn't be there.
we'll see you back on the island.
Yep.